Hey everyone, Draker here, and I'm here with Game 2 of the 1 versus 1 match between Softball as the Red Terran and HuK as the Blue Protoss. So for Game 2, we are here on Metalopolis. HuK did win the first game. It was on Zelnaga Caverns, and it was a pretty nice match, but HuK obviously was guaranteed to win because it's HuK. I just didn't say he was guaranteed to win. I've seen plenty of matches of him losing, but still, he's an OP Canadian, so I always vote for HuK. So yeah, this is a best out of three series. It is a match from Blizzcon of 2010, and yeah, let's see how game two goes. See if softball can pull out a win here and keep them in this series or tournament, I should say. I think he gets knocked out after this. I think this was a loser bracket, but I could be wrong. I'm not too sure. So we got softball here working on his wall off. Very normal for Terran. We got HuK here is chrono boost down some probes. He's already got a scout out here, which is pretty smart on his end because you see a lot of people wait until they get a gateway or something to scout, and he realizes that he's obviously going against a Terran and that he'll get the wall in very soon. So he wants to get a scout in there in case softball gets the wall off complete. But it doesn't look like softball is going to go for a wall in as he built that one supply depot as his entrance for vision, I guess, and he's building the barracks away from the entrance here. A little different. So we did have the barracks start at 12 supply, which is very normal, as well as HuK with a gateway at 12 supply, which is obviously incredibly normal for any build-up lately. That's all everyone goes. They get their gateway, barracks, and all that crap at 12 supply now. So that's standard. Now we do have an assimilator on the way here for HuK, so we are going to see some early stalkers once again on the field. Yeah, softball does have a refinery going, and he already has gas mining, so I won't be surprised if he transitions into quick tanks, which is pretty powerful against Protoss. Now we do have a nice little harass here from HuK with his probe. He's freaking amazing with his probe harass. He can do so much stuff with just run probe. It's ridiculous, and he always mines a mineral field with a probe when he goes to scout. I don't know why. He just loves doing it. I guess because it looks cool. I don't know. Now we do have a cybernetics core is now on the way here for HuK, so we are definitely going to see some warp gates and early stalkers on the field. Now we do have a second barracks on the way here for softball, so we might see him tech one to a reactor and one to a tech lab, which is I'm pretty sure that's what he did first game. As we do have the reactor now is on the way for that first racks. Cybernetics core is just about done. HuK is still working on one gas. He did have a zealot just finished now, so he is going to be able to not going to be able to kill that SCV there by softball in his base, but he is going to be able to chase it out of his base. Now we do have a marine following HuK's probe here. HuK is just luring those marines away from the base, and softball decided to finally pull it back. Now we do have softball is keeping that SCV over here in the corner by HuK's base, scout out later. Now we do have a second gateway on the way here for HuK. So we're definitely, as that one stalker does finish, the warp gates are on the way. We have a second assimilator also on the way. So he's definitely looking to get gas heavy early in this game. As softball is also still just working on one gas, and he should be getting a second gas soon, considering he is getting a tech lab for the second barracks. So we are going to be seeing some marauders in the field, which he just queued up one as we speak. Now we also have concussive shells on the way here for softball, so it looks like might be going to a standard MMM ball once again, which is like the most common build there for Terran players. Now he is building a factory here. Now this is where it could change up. He could tech into siege tanks, and then not do the standard MMM ball and go massive marines, handful of marauders, and siege tanks, which is incredible. That's the most common build against Protoss. It's mostly just mass marines and siege tanks, just because it's incredibly powerful. Then if you can get some ghost on the fields with the EMP, knock those shields out, and the splash damage from the siege tanks and stimp pack marines just tears Protoss apart. Now we do have a little proxy pylon over here. I shouldn't say proxy pylon, it's in his base, but it's over in the corner scouting that unvisioned area in case of any drops, which is very smart in his part. We have HuK was trying to get a proxy pylon over here down in the bottom, but softball was able to scout that out, and he is going to be able to pick that off with his pretty good army size, which is actually going to be good for HuK's part because he's going to realize the army composition that his opponent's doing without having to send a probe in there to scout. So he should be able to build a good army to counter that Marine Marauder push, which is actually on the way here for Softball. We also do have Stimpack on the way for him as well, and also a Starport. So he's pushing without getting an early Medivac. So he's going to see if he can do some damage. Now we do have a pylon over here in the corner, so he can probably warp down some units on the bottom on the low ground, and then when he's defending at the choke, he can warp in the units from the back and surround his enemy and and just kill him. Now it looks like Softball was doing a scan and realizes he probably doesn't have enough units yet to do any sort of attack, so he's moving back to his natural, and actually it looks like he might be looking to take over his natural as he's rallying all his units in front of that base. As we do have another SCV on the way out to scout here by Softball. Might be going to the up. He is going to the Zelnaga Tower. Now we do have a medic vac on the way here for Softball as well. So we are definitely going to be seeing that MMM ball, as we do have a reactor just finished here for on the factory. So he's going to be switching the starport in factory there. And what the hell is he doing? He's going to be scouting with his factory. You gotta love those floating factories. Now we do have a natural on the way here for HuK, so he's finally looking to do an early expand, as there has been no early pressure in this game, so he feels safe enough to expand. And we do have that Robo Bay did finish a moment ago, and he did get an Immortal on the field. So yeah, I'm actually surprised he didn't get any Colossi. Kind of surprised he got Immortals, as there's no siege things in the field. But there is Medic Vacs where there's the Observer. The Observer is going to be able to scout the base. He is going to scout those two Medic Vacs that are building. I mean, that's the only thing he can build really with the reactor. So that or Vikings, but highly doubt he would think that his opponent is building Vikings, because that would be the most stupidest thing. Except for maybe one for scouting. But we do have HuK is going to be notice what the push is coming here from Softball. He has the factory floating over, so he can get vision on the high ground, which is very smart on his part, and he is going to be able to pick off a few of those stalkers, is forcing HuK to pull back further into his base. But those look like Softball is going to pull away as the stimp pack wears off, so he can heal his units back up to full health as he has more units rallying over to his army side. Now we have two more gateways on the